Hey guys, welcome back to Micho Makes. My name is Micho. I like to make stuff. Today I've got part number 55 of the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 by DeAgostini. This is the 1/8 scale massive model that we're building together, and this is a little special one because check this out. That's a thick boy. The other ones have been pretty thin. This has been the thickest one we've seen in a while. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. All right, let's take a look at this. Oh, so this is a cover, so really thick cover here, and we've got a box this time. No frames this time. So let's pop this open real quick. All right, kind of folds open like that, and it looks like, whoa. Okay. All right, so we last time we got the kind of engine bay finished up almost. It looks like we have the interior pan where, you know, everything's gonna go. Oh, and check that out too. That's carpet. That actually looks like carpet. I'm assuming it's like sticker-esque. We're able to lay that carpet down. Yeah, so this is a pretty big one. All right, let's get this put off to the side here. Grab this cardboard out the way. And then we've got our magazine. Let's take a quick peek at that. You guys can see what we're going to be dealing with today. Okay. All right, so this issue looks like they're talking about nicknames. Toyota nickname. So it looks like they're talking about maybe different nicknames that were given to some of these vehicles, like the Celica GT. This is a really nice one too as well. Okay, so basically they're kind of outlining in the paragraph to the left, terms of endearment, right, where nicknames were given to a lot of the Toyota vehicles. The 1970s Celica GT was given the nickname Dharma. I don't know why, but let me look it up and see if it says why. Okay. So they actually named it Dharma just because of the round design, I guess, of the front end, and all of the, if you look at Dharmas in like Japanese historical things, they're kind of like the guys with the two eyes, and you basically write a wish on the back of them, and then you fill in an eye when you make the wish, and if the wish comes true, you fill in the other eye. And maybe that's the reason why, because it's got a kind of a round body. Those things are kind of round-ish style too as well, but maybe that's the reason why. I don't know. Here's another one here. It's a crown. Go ahead and make sure you guys can see that. I'll focus so you can read that. This one was named the Kujira. I don't know what that is. Let me take a look and see if we can see it in the text. Okay, instead of me Google translating this for you and trying to give you an explanation after I look it up, go ahead and pause the video and you can look at that up yourself too as well, but I'll give you the detail shots. You got the starlet up here too as well. Really, really nice. Get the minivan here too. Cool. All right, and we're going to jump right into the parts here. Looks like we are actually adding in the interior carpet. Looks like really nice. So it looks like they're all going to be stickers. So we're going to peel these off and put them in there. laying out that kind of floor pan that we have here on each side. And it looks like, I mean, these things are precision cut, so it should be pretty simple as long as you kind of lay it out correctly. I am concerned because with stickers, I mean, I hope that I can get in one shot. They have been very generous when it comes down to these parts and being able to get multiple copies of certain small ones just in case you screw up something. But for these big ones, I mean, I think I'm going to get one shot to do these correctly. I'd prefer not to have to rebuy parts because I break something or I don't stick it on correctly. So I'll do my best to make sure this gets laid out as best I can. But it looks like, you know, we're getting a full interior floor pan built out there today. So that's gonna be fun. And I don't think that's the end of the interior because it feels like we have another page. Let's take a look. Cool, right there. Looks like we have so it's it's funny, they have a whole step for adding in the footrest for the clutch, right? So you put your foot there if you're not actively using the clutch. And we are adding in some, looks like body panels too. But we are just straight up assembling the floor pan. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the parts. All right, jumping right into it. Let's pull this floor pan out because this is still in the plastic here. Looks like it is molded pretty good. Move around, get damaged. All right, nothing else inside of here. Now let's take a quick peek at this floor pan in here. First thing off the bat, it is plastic. Obviously a little bit of a darker brown color. It's pretty high quality. I mean, it's a nice injection mold, you can tell from the sprue lines too as well. It's a very large piece, right? I mean, that's pretty hefty, right, for the floor pan. But I mean, it's got to have everything on it too. Single piece. It's kind of crazy. Okay, we've got some side panel pieces here. Let's take a good look at that. Indicated right and left, and these are plastic as well. We've got our pedal footrest here from the clutch. This normally, I believe, in the car is rubber, but it's plastic here, obviously, but a really nice texture. And then we've got all this different pieces of carpet. Now you can kind of slightly see. Let me just make sure that's in focus for you. I'm pretty sure we're not even doing cut lines because there is pre-cuts in here, but I'm concerned, a little concerned with making sure, because I don't see any cuts on the back here. These come off cleanly and not like kind of get pulled up or have issues. But you can tell it's a really nice kind of felt surface. Not felt specifically, but you know, it definitely feels like carpet, right? This is what the carpet you would get in the vehicle. There's that one. We've got another one here. You can actually can't see the cut lines on this one a little bit, so it might be a little bit of a challenge. Again, these are all stickers too, so that's something that's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. Another one here. Again, more cut lines in the back. You can see. It's carpet. Nice big one too. You can kind of see the outline right there of the piece. And another pretty large one. The hardest part, I think, can be identifying which is which, because there's going to be a lot of different parts in here, and I do not want to rip any of these. I don't know if there are like extra ones in here. There might be. We'll see. And for our screws, we have a bag of AP screws. So let's get laid out and figure out what goes first from our booklet and kind of go from there. Okay, so we really just get one shot at a lot of these pieces. They basically said once it's kind of down, it's down. And you got to be really kind of careful in putting these. The good thing is, check this out, is that you can see here. I'll make sure this is in focus for you. You've got a couple lines here. You've got a yellow line and a orange line. And they're basically saying, hey, the yellow line goes down first. So make sure the yellow line, excuse me, gets aligned first before you do any kind of settling and sticking it down. Make sure that yellow line gets down first and then kind of move up. Same thing here, right? Yellow line. Also here. Put these yellow lines here. So for this specific one, yellow lines here, the top and the bottom, align that, don't cover up the holes, and then you flop that down on the sides there. It's going to be a bigger piece. So they do give you kind of a guide on how try to do this properly without screwing up, but basically it said too, if you screw up, we kind of give you a lot of material because obviously they cut out and laser cut out a lot of these pieces here. You can actually cut some of this out later on and cover up any kind of gaps. So we're going to do our best to utilize that in the example they have here of like the guide of, oh yeah, here are all the pieces that you're going to need in the carpet. They cut out all the other pieces that you should be looking for, but I'm going to save a lot of the carpet just in case we need a little bit to cover up any flaws, or as Adam Savage called it, hide the crimes or anything like that. But first piece we're looking for is this one right here. So let's see if we can find it in this whole mess. This, I think, is it actually. That's kind of the hardest part, is identifying these. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, one big one, two small ones. Yep. And let's see if I can figure out which one goes where. So this is the back side here. Yep, this one here. Cool. So I think, oh yes, it's a pretty nice sticky structure here. So if I can try to identify this, I think I pulled the other side off. So they want us to start on this side, but we're going to do this side first, it looks like, because of the angle piece right there. So here, there is a little protrusion here, and I believe they say, hey, we've got to cover this up first. You can kind of see it right there. Let me take a look at the instructions real quick to make sure. Oh yeah, we're covering that up. Okay, so it goes like this. And I'm gonna maybe get my tweezers and I'll zoom in too so you guys can get a view. Kind of difficult just because the angle's kind of weird. Let me see if I can something that'll prop this up just a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. Oh no. Averted disaster there. The sticky part almost got stuck to the page of the book there. It fell off. Okay, let's make sure that's in focus for you. Ooh, this is pretty difficult. Okay, that's good on that edge. I'm going to try to do what they say about getting his bottom edge aligned first. Now it does look like I have a little bit of a gap in the tone right there. Am I too far up? I might be. So I'm going to move this just back a little bit. Give me a little more. There we go. It's looking pretty good so far. And doing that bottom edge first is helping the alignment a lot. So we'll go ahead and slowly push that on. That looks pretty decent. There is a little bit of an edge back there. But I think I took as much as I could. Not that big of a deal. It's going to be covered by the seats anyway, so it's not like, oh my god, it needs to be perfect. Oh, you know, this is my model. As I've said before, I'll do what I want. It's pretty good though. Not bad. Alright, flip it around. Same sheet here. The struggle is trying to get this unpeeled. So taking the paper too. There it is. Okay, cool. Got an edge. Okay. A little bit easier because I'm right-handed on this right side. Oops. Yeah, I'm going to grab another pair of tweezers. This one's not fully down yet. What's really nice is that you use a low-tack glue, so there's a lot of room for errors, which I'll need, right, to be able to stick these on. Oh, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Not too bad. Good. And that feels, it's actually very, very satisfying. The feel of that. Cool. And then the next part is actually right in the middle of these two. So we'll get this unsticked. And I'll put this actually down here so you can actually see it properly. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult. Just because we've got holes to align. And if the holes are off, it's going to be pretty obvious, right? But I'm going to follow the guide, as I said. So it looks like we're going to be trying to get this edge up here, and then this edge. It's a little kind of notch right there. It's kind of our alignment points for this piece. Before we kind of fold this down, I'm going to use actually the back one right here, because that seems like be like the easiest for us to really get that alignment. Oh yeah, that just kind of fell right there. I said, oh yeah, make sure you don't cover up the holes. And then this should fold right to the top here. Let's double check this real quick. Again, it doesn't need to be perfectly aligned, especially up here, because the dash is going to cover this completely, right? So looks pretty good. And then just take this edge and we're laying it down here. Wow, nice. Looks really good. Oh, it feels really cool. It does. It absolutely feels like the interior of a car. This is carpet. And I'm going to save these just in case. There's no other pieces that I need collected on this piece, but I'm going to save it anyways, because who knows if I'm going to need to cut a little piece to add in stuff or whatever. You know, it is what it is. Oh, yeah, that feels really good. All right. Go on to the next part. So it looks like we're doing the tunnel next. And let me see if I can find this piece part right here. Should I get this aligned correctly? Is this the right piece? That's kind of the hardest part is, okay, this looks like it right here. Figuring out which one's which. Yeah, okay. So this is going to be this the orientation. Let's see that. So the hole there. Looks like it comes down here, and then there are slits here we need to be mindful of. Yeah, this low tack glue, so nice to be able to pull these out without too much. It doesn't get it stuck into my fingers, like it doesn't. I can actually it doesn't leave any residue on my fingers, which is really nice. It sticks really well. Oh yeah, look at that. Whatever they use is phenomenal. That's great. All right, so it looks like our alignment initially is for the hole. So we gotta make sure. I'm trying to work around the camera so you guys can see too. It looks kind of muddy right there, actually. Let's take a quick peek. Man, I kind of hit that hole right dead center. That looks pretty good too on the tunnel. Am I off a little bit? I might be off. I might just be rotated just a little bit. So pick this up. Just place this back down right there. Same thing on this side. But I kind of hit that dead center right there. It's pretty nice. That looks really good. Okay. And then we'll take this and we'll kind of running our finger here. Make sure this is good. Make sure this is good too. Excuse me. And then we're going to just fold this down here. Let's just take a look over our line. Oh, yeah. I hit it like nuts on. That's awesome. Yeah. Man. Pretty proud of that. Nuts on. This one down here. And it looks like we're putting these down first on this side. So I think I scripted Levin just a little bit on this because it looks like there's a little bit of overhang on this, just on this side. I'm going to pick this out just a little and realign it. Yeah, much better. Much better. Do the same thing on this side here. Let's get this one aligned. That looks pretty decent. Excellent. I'm gonna lay this down here. And we're just going to roll this edge over. Just like that. Look at that. Looks like the center drive shaft column is carpeted. Looks really good. All right. Next, we're going to be taking the centerpiece here. Move this to the side. This one's done. We're going to be taking this piece out. And it is not symmetrical. There is a notch here, so it looks like we're going to just find that notch as our kind of our alignment point. And then from there, get it attached. Now this is going to be a little bit unwieldy because it's very thin. Oh yeah, and they're hot. I can see these notches here too as well. Gotta be mindful of these little dots here. There's another one. There's another one somewhere. There it is. Let's get these out of the way. Okay. You do not want to rip anything. Comes off pretty clean. But we do have one more dot I gotta punch out. There it is. Excellent. All right, so our alignment mark is going to be this little notch here, right there. Make sure that's in focus for you guys. We're going to use that as our kind of our alignment. Gosh, it's really hard to see because the camera's in the way. How's that look? That looks pretty nuts. Okay, so once we get to that, looks like we are just kind of laying this down here, working our way out. So it looks like it's just a little come in a little bit more because I'm just going to lay that side down. Work on this side first. Obviously, the goal is to not cover up any of these screw holes. Give them as much space as they need. Yeah, that's very, very precision cut. I love that. Looks so good. I'm not folding that edge down just yet. Got a little bit misaligned there. And find that edge right there. That looks really good. Okay, and then after these are kind of laid out and looking good, these tweezers have been such a really lifesaver for these. So I don't have to like figure out a way to get my fingernail in there. I mean, you could use a toothpick or something, but this is great. All right, I'm gonna take this, just kind of roll this edge down. Can find that edge. Maybe I'll even zoom in for you. Now there is kind of these cut marks here. You can see right here. I think it's, I don't know why they're there, but I guess it just gives you a little bit more relief for these little kind of bulges. So we'll do our best to accommodate, because you can see that there's a little bit of a bulge there, a little turn in. So that's my assumption at least. This little bulge right there. Push that in. It's pretty good on that side. All right, let's start on this side. Get that little bulge right there. So we go on that side. Yeah, that's looking real good. Looking real good. Wow. Oh, there's this little face here. Ah, screaming at you. Screaming at you. Ah. Nah. Cool. All right. Next piece is actually gonna be probably the one more difficult one, only because the carpets, the drivers and passenger side carpets, front carpet. Let's take a look. I believe I got the right ones. Let's double check and make sure. Oh yeah, okay. So this is the drivers. And so it's gonna go up here. You see this little notch here for the footrest there. It's gonna avoid that. I'm gonna go ahead and reposition real quick. So it's kind of funny. The edges that they're giving me. Let's take a look at this real quick. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, never mind. Okay, yeah, basically it said, hey, just find the alignment. I'm looking at the next step accidentally. So, let's see here. It looks like it does just kind of overlap on this backside, size-wise. So we're not going to get any of this kind of, whoops, this edge back here on this one. So, leave it at that. Kind of hard for me to get this visually looking good for you. I'm just kind of starting at that back edge, I think. It's a good spot. Oh yeah, that was pretty easy actually. There is this little edge here, so maybe I am a little close to this one, so I'll pull it back up real quick. God, it is like almost like a duct tape type feeling, which is great because, not duct tape, sorry, not duct tape, masking tape type glue, which is actually really nice in regards to the stickiness, but also the, oh, I screwed up, I need to reposition. So like that actually is a pretty big gap. Maybe that means I am too close to the back. Let's see how they have it. Oh, actually, no, that looks like there is a gap on theirs too. You can kind of see it right there. See right there, it's a little edge right there. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing on this one. But I think that should be okay then. So I'll just try laying it down and see. So okay. Yeah, that looks real good. Kind of climbs up there. Oh yeah, looks good. Cool. Passenger carpet. Man, this one's a little bit more difficult. Sorry if it's out of view. I'm going to go ahead and reposition the camera just a little bit more so I can actually see it too. Okay. Not really liking that position. Try to get this again. That looks really good. Awesome. All right, that one's done. All right, and the rear pieces, got a couple here. I don't know if these are interchangeable, is it right or left? Take a look and see. These might be the same back here. I don't really see any differences. But we're going to be basically laying it in here and then this tab too as well. So I'm going to start on, oh, actually no, my bad, there is, well, not really, but I've got a couple screw hole things here. So yeah, actually no, they are because it's going to be flipped. So yeah, this is this side right here. Go ahead and get it placed right here. Get this edge down here. Okay. It's laid up there, and then curl it. There we go. That looks really good on that side. Okay, the other one. Okay, on this side. Edge reinforce that tab. The whole edge down here too as well. Let they get that set. We'll go ahead and push this up a little bit. Good. Looks good. All right. Our interior carpet is complete. Let's take a good look at this thing. It's so cool. It feels very velvety. I like it. It does feel like a vehicle car interior. You put your feet in here. Obviously, without any floor mats, you don't want floor mats to not ruin this carpet, but it looks really good. Normally in these cars, they're one piece, right? They're kind of laser cut and fabricated to be one big piece, but obviously you could do that with this, but it would have been more difficult than just to have these individual pieces that are basically adhesive of a kind of a masking tape, which is really nice. Gives you a lot of flexibility in the stickiness, but it'll hold really nice, and it's got a nice little texture on top too. All right, so let's move on to our next part. Give me 1 second, I'll reposition. Okay, next is we're just going to take our foot rest here, our clutch pedal rest here, and just place that in. I'm not too sure if there is an orientation. It didn't look like there was. And this is just a friction fit. So we just gotta push it in. There it is. Okay, cool. And again, I've said this time and time again. These small details of just something like that, makes a big difference in how this model is kind of shaping out. You didn't need to have that. You could have easily just put it into the shell and had it like be a part of the floor pan already, but no, you had to have actually put that in. That's so cool. All right. Okay, next part is actually we're taking the panel pieces here, and this one is the left one that goes right here, and then we take a couple AP screws and secure it on the bottom. So let's grab that. Okay, got those two side pieces in there, and we're getting our real first look at the interior of the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 by DeAgostini. This was part number 55. We are done after putting those two pieces in. Really cool part. Actually, it just dawned on me right now that this is actually our halfway point, and maybe that's the reason why we did such a really good a big important piece of this puzzle, this whole model, is the interior and the floor pan, because this is our halfway point. This is 110 parts, and we're at number 55. So want to thank you for joining me today while we build this part. It's a really cool part, as usual. So much kind of detail involved in how we can kind of imagine if this is the whole interior, and then this is the Hot Wheels, right? The whole inside of there is right here. I mean, this really does give you kind of a comparison of what we're kind of expecting. So I really do appreciate you joining me today. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Really, really appreciate it. Help the channel grow. Give it a like. Really helps too as well. Leave a comment if you have any questions. I'd really like to answer those too as well. But thank you again for joining me on part number 55 of the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 by DeAgostini. Let's take a look at what's going on in part number 56 here. Aha. Looks like we have something super simple. Those look like floor mats. Literally floor mats, and more stickers, interior stickers it looks like, and maybe it's just on the side. So I suspect this is going to be a pretty quick one. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.